I've been taking part in a big project for about the past month or so. I've been trying to find dupes for my high-end blushes. I've come up with 10. We're talking brands like MAC and Tarte and Laura Mercier and the Balm, and then finding less expensive blushes that really match those high-end blushes from brands like e.l.f. and Wet n Wild and NYX and things like that. This is really exciting to think that you don't have to spend, you know, a big price to get a similar look in a blush. And really, I'm looking for exact dupes of these shades. That's why this has taken me so long. At first I had like 4 or 5, and then, you know, I wanted to work up to a decent amount before I shot a video on it. So now I've got 10. Keep in mind, just because something looks similar or might even look different as you look at them side by side in the packaging, it's more about the swatch that I'm thinking of when I come up with the dupes. I mean, you really do have to go through and test things, and you also have to keep in mind that it's sort of more sheer on your cheeks, and some blushes, you know, go on with a lot more heavy pigmentation right off the bat, so you have to think about, well, how does that look when it's sheared out a little? So lots of things to think about, but let's get started. I have been loving the blushes from the Balm, and one of my favorites is called Hot Mama, and it's got adorable packaging first off, and the blush itself is kind of like a light peachy golden shade. Kind of like a blush that borders on a highlight for some people because of the amount of gold that shows through in this. So I knew I had to find a blush that wasn't just flat peach, but it had the same golden shimmer, and I found that in the e.l.f. $1 blush in Glow. And when you swatch this, when you wear this, the gold really comes through. I'm wearing this on my cheeks now, and see that little bit of highlight here? I'm not wearing a highlight. This is the highlight. So it's kind of, these remind me of blush slash highlights, and Glow from e.l.f. is just like this one. I have a couple of Tarte blushes, and I've got to say they are tough to find a dupe of. I mean, I just looked and looked, and I couldn't see anything in my collection that was similar, but finally I came across one that I'm really, really satisfied with as a dupe, and it's for this blush in Peaceful. So this is one of those Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-hour blushes. It's gorgeous. With these shimmery blushes, it's tough to find something that just glows and has the same finish exactly. But this one from Wet n Wild, love the Wet n Wild blushes, and this one is called Pearlescent Pink, and it is beautiful, and it has just the same finish as that one from Tarte. And this is, of course, a drugstore blush that's not going to cost you much money. I was kind of surprised and thrilled to see that I had a dupe for this great Laura Geller blush in Mimosa. This is a beautiful, kind of complex color here. You're seeing some tones of berry and peach and a little bit of gold, but I thought, you know, what am I going to have that's going to be similar? Obviously, I'm not looking for something that looks just like that in the packaging, but what matters is how does it look on the cheeks, how does it look when you swatch it. And the NYX blush in Pinched, actually, it comes off just like this one does when you swatch it. It's got that little bit of gold to it, that little bit of peach, kind of a pinky tone as well. So thrilled to find something that dupes Mimosa, because I thought this is a very unique blush. This is something I don't think I have anything else like, but Pinched from NYX is a lot like it. Next we have MAC's blush in Fleur Power. It's spelled F-L-E-U-R. It's kind of your classic peachy pink, lacking shimmer overall. It's a satin finish blush, so it's not going to come off with a whole lot of shine and metallic tones. And for a long time I've kind of eyed a color in my collection that I thought was really on par with that, both in intensity and the exact shade, and it's Milani Minerals blush in Mai Tai. This comes off the very same way. It doesn't have sparkle, so again, we're thinking not just about colors here, but the whole finish, the whole appearance of the shade, and these two are great dupes. As a gift not all that long ago, this kit from Laura Mercier, and there's a really, really pale pink blush in here, and I wanted to get some variety in this video and not dupe a bunch of blushes that all look the same, but this shade called Rose Petal here is just such a soft, light baby pink, and I thought for somebody out there wanting something similar to that, and it does appear to be relatively matte, I found a great dupe for it, guys. It's L'Oreal True Match Blush blush in Baby Blossom. So this really soft light pink and this one here from Laura Mercier, I think for somebody looking for just one of those barely there colors, this is gonna be like that. So I have MAC's Dollymix, and this looks like a really bright pink blush. It actually goes on a little more sheer than this, and it was kind of a struggle to find a shade that really matched up, but oddly enough, I found it in a $1 item here from e.l.f., and this is the e.l.f. Blush in Flushed. And these actually come off really, really similar. It was tough to find something that was just as sheer as this, and it still had that same pink vibrancy to it. So in swatching these and in shearing them out and blending them out as well, I found these to be great dupes for one another. My favorite blush from Mally is a color called Mally's Glow, and I think this is just a really great pink. It's just a classic kind of rosy pink on the cheeks, and it does have a little bit of shimmer. So as I was searching for a dupe for this, the one that really matched up for me was the Physicians Formula Happy Booster Blush in Natural. This is, you know, a lot of different shades all together there, but as you blend your finger across them or you blend your brush across them, they really turn out to have a look that is just like this. For a classic pink kind of blush, the Physicians Formula Happy Booster in Natural is a great dupe for this one from Mally. We're going to talk about this blush from MAC, which is a shade called Breezy, and it's really a little bit deeper blush, and as you can see, it has almost that slight bit of metallic shimmer as you look at it here, and it's kind of a berry type blush. The dupe I found for this is from e.l.f., and it's one of the $3 blushes from the Studio line, and it's called Blushing Rose, and this has long been a favorite of mine because this color comes off with a lot of impact. It comes off so much like that matte color, and it was kind of surprising because I don't feel like they look exactly alike as you look at them in the packaging, and that was what kind of threw me off for a little while from even checking it out as a dupe, but they really are similar on the cheeks. Blush is from MAC, and it's kind of a dusty rose. It's called Desert Rose, and I had difficulty finding something from the drugstore that sort of had that, you know, lack of shimmer, lack of brightness, and something that was kind of taken down a notch. It's just kind of, you know, a little bit more muted. And finally, in a little kit that I got, but this is available full size, I got one of those Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes in Mellow Wine. This is great. These two actually come off so similarly in a sheared out swatch. In a color that is not, you know, pure pink or pure peach. You know, it's just a little bit dusty, and so these two colors actually work really well as dupes. Got a great color from MAC here called Ambering Rose, and it's kind of like a bronzy rose, I would call it, and it does have shimmer, and I found a dupe from that in my collection, something I've had for a while. It's the CoverGirl single blush here in Sierra Sands. So I was thrilled to find something that measured up to this one, and also while this one looks a little darker, it doesn't go on quite as dark as it looks, which works to match this. So it's kind of interesting in the whole process of finding dupes how things don't always appear to be a dupe, but they turn out to be. So that wraps up my video on blush dupes. As I get more blushes and try new blushes, maybe there will be a round 2 on this someday, but I gotta tell you, this was quite a task, and as I started it, I started kind of thinking like, oh my gosh, can I even pull this off? But I'm really, really pleased with the dupes I've come up with, and if you know of some that you'd like to share, please let me know in the comments section. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye.